Hey guys, Static here, and today on Dungeon Guide we're going to be covering Veteran Hard Mode Spindleclutch 2. Spindleclutch 2 has a lot of quote-unquote regular mobs. There's nothing too special here, just flaming oils on the ground, but they do have Dragon Knights, which drop these standards. So you want to try and stay out of there. It's going to give them more damage, and they take less damage. But generally, you can kind of just burn through that. This boss starts off with a lot of ads around him, so make sure your tank gets a taunt off on the actual boss, and then goes around stabby stabby on all the ads. Just burn them down so you can focus on his mechanics alone then. The boss himself has a jump attack, which is actually his heavy attack, and then he also has a small conal in front of him, which is a channeled ability. These are his only mechanics. Bloodspawn is actually one of the best group buffed DPS parse depictions you can get in the game. The reason being, his resistances are actually base resistances. So as far as his actual mechanics go, he has a red AoE. He also just does light and heavy attacks. So this is pretty much just a tank and spank. Your tank turns him around, takes those light and heavy attacks, your healer makes sure HOTS are on during the red AoE, and you just DPS away and get your number. The next hallway brings us to our first flesh Atronach. They're a lot scarier looking than they actually are to fight. The only thing they're really bringing to the table is they'll roar and then do an overhead smash, which is their heavy attack, which will knock you down, so just gotta block that.
Can't cover our voices. You suck, Static.
Ah.
Ah.
This next boss can't be damaged and won't actually take his final form until you defeat all the waves of ads before him. There's going to be several ads here, and you got to really bring your DPS A game to get through them to even be eligible to fight this boss. After the last wave, the boss will take his final form here. The first thing you want to watch out for are the conal red attack right there. That actually hurts quite a bit if you're not blocking it. The next thing is his hand will turn white. That means he's just cursed a party member, and your resources are going to be siphoned. The next thing is this red circle here. It's going to go on a random party member, and when it goes on you, you must stay inside of it as it moves. If you're another party member, you can't go inside of that red circle or you'll die, and if you're the one with the circle around you, you can't try to leave that circle, or once again, you will die. One thing worth mentioning is the resource siphoning curse that he places on a random target can be purged. So if you have a Templar in group, use their ritual synergy on the ground in order to remove this curse from yourself. Another option would be to slot Purge from the PvP Alliance War skill line prior to this fight, just in preparation, because you can remove the curse from the entire group with one cast. This next fight isn't a singular boss fight, but 3 regular flesh Atronachs. So they have conals, they have their heavy attacks that we covered before, but they have an interesting mechanic that actually heals them if one of them dies before the other. So it's a good idea to try and burn them down together. We purposefully kill one ahead of the others here to just show you how much health they gain if you kill one before the others. So once again, burn them down evenly if you can. This next fight starts off with a bunch of ads around the boss, so once again, burn down the trash before you really worry about that boss. Just make sure your tank has a taunt off on him. The boss's first mechanic will just be a Dragon Knight standard that we've seen off of the regular mobs from earlier, so nothing new there. What is new is this boss's ability to drop under the ground and become a pool of blood. You can't damage him, and it'll just siphon your health. You can kite it around the room and it'll chase the tank, or if he's beefy enough, he can just stand in it. The only other mechanics are a Talon here, which roots you in place, and then he also does spinning heavy attacks. This last boss fight is one of the weird occasions in this game where doing normal mode actually requires more effort than doing hard mode. The way you get 2 keys in this dungeon is by not killing the prisoners down below, which is really simple to do if you pull him away from them to where your AoEs will never touch them. As you see here, this beam signifies that he's healing off of the prisoners from below. But it's such a small heal that you can just keep DPSing and ignore it and continue on with the fight. When he places his hand up in the air, he's going to charge to each party member. It's a good idea if you're a little squishy to block throughout this entire mechanic. He does do a quick siphon on a random target, which just steals a little bit of health, and also places red AoEs on the ground, so just don't stand in those. That's all there is to this fight. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Please smash that like and subscribe button below for future content releases. I really appreciate the support everybody's been showing me. So I want to just say thank you to each and every one of you. It really means a lot to me. See you guys later and catch you next time.